Okay, hello and welcome back to some more F1 2021, my team. Today, you join me for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. You very, very fast track, many straights, for example, down from turn 7 down to Ascari, from 10 to 11, from 11 to 1. So basically, it's a DRS train if DRS is activated, but Monza can be very, very wet. I mean, you'll know by the title, because if it's really wet, I would have said so. But into qualifying we go. And it's looking dry for qualifying, which is very lucky. But it might still rain for the race. I'll have a look at the forecast when we get into qualifying, and I will update you on that. Okay, so it is going to rain for the race. Normally, we go straight to the lap, but it will rain for the race. So I'm going to put a high downforce setup on. And I have put the high downforce setup on. So, although we're going very fast right now, it's a lot harder to go fast, and there's a very high chance we will get a bad positioning, but it is looking dreadful for the race. So, although it may be, you know, a dreadful time, if we can just get the high downforce, we can easily get past people if there's at least one safety car. But yeah, P21, but hopefully there will be at least one safety car.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With the rain coming down here at the 3.6-mile Monza circuit, the low drag setups preferred by most teams could cause them some problems in today's Grand Prix. So watch out for cars struggling for grip around Parabolica, the last and most demanding of this track's 11 corners. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Reed. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, and Mick Schumacher completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Sainz, Pierre Gasly and Leclerc, Stroll, Latifi, Verstappen and Esteban Ocon, Matsushita, Raikkonen, Lando Norris and Joe, Perez, Aitken, George Russell and Robert Schwartzman, Tictum, Giovinazzi, Reed and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching.
Obviously full wet conditions. I mean, looking at that intro, the thing, it was mental. Looking at the forecast as well, it doesn't seem like it will even clear up towards Inters. I'm going to completely underfuel the car and see how it goes. We've got the higher downforce setup on, so we can take corners faster. And Ascari especially, that one is always a death trap in the rain, because the AI, for whatever reason, take it as if the track is completely dry. So a safety car there is almost guaranteed, as long as we get a couple of good racing laps in. And hopefully we can take Ascari as if it's dry, because of this higher downforce. I mean, when I've done races before, I've done practice races as well in the rain, just because I'm not very good at like race starts and stuff, which you'll probably see in about a minute. But a lot of the time I do it on this track, and Ascari is so easy to take on high downforce when you are in the rain. Anyways, on the grid now, we're going to get ready to 5 red lights. We are underway for the Italian Grand Prix. Sticking it in first as long as we can to try and get rid of some of this wheel spin. Trying to get up past Giovinazzi now, up to P20. Yellow flag ahead. We're going to just stay back, trying not to do anything. Having to go around the torch. Oh my!
The virtual safety car has been deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta.
Oh
There's
my
been
days!
An incident resulting in a high level of debris on the track.
So there's a safety car now. So many people have crashed into turn 1.
Give that position back.
Hey,
You're under
what?
safety car conditions.
He was stopped on the track.
Overtake.
He was stopped on the track. He was stopped. I mean, I let him go obviously, but he was stopped on the track. I went to go around Schwartzman, and I like lost control of the car and hit the wall, and now have to pit the front wing. That is frustrating, but it's fine because we're pitting in now for the wing. We'll get 1 lap new tyres. So on the restart, maybe we'll... I don't even know. A lot of people are pitting in though. We got Perez, Giovinazzi, Tictum, Makashita. Loads of people are pitting in because of turn 1 carnage. I mean, think of where we would be. Actually, we probably wouldn't be that high. That was a rapid tyre change. Holy. Well, there you go. We're going to be out in P18. 2 people are out of the race so far. Kimi Raikkonen. Oh my god.
Line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous
Kimi Raikkonen and George Russell. Okay, going green again, right behind Perez, going alongside towards the inside line towards turn 1. We're past Perez now. Makashita ahead of us, going down towards turn 1. Can we get an outbreak on a couple of them? Makashita gone. Latifi gone. Schwartzman alongside of us. We're going to have to try and keep our line. A little bit of contact. Perez. Whoa. Perez just pushed Schwartzman into us. Why? Come on, man. Why have you done this? At the end of lap 4, heading towards Ascari now. Behind Mazepin, there's a yellow flag ahead as that's 2 cars off. Stroll and Gasly are off the track, moving us up into P12. That's very good. We're right behind Nikita Mazepin now. We're going to have a look down the inside. Can't make it past. Having a look back around the outside to inevitably go back down the inside into Parabolica to make a move. Almost losing the car. Having to go off track a little bit. Flipping it. Almost lost it. Mick Schumacher goes fastest.
Gap to teammate ahead is 8.3 seconds.
8.3 seconds to the lead. That's actually not awful, but into turn 1, we're right behind Jack Aitken. We can absolutely send it down the inside. Oh my days. That gap did not exist. There was no move there to be made, and we made it. I love this sometimes. Lap 5, we're behind Esteban, heading down towards turn 7, the second Lesmo. We're going to have a look down the inside of the second Lesmo. This move doesn't happen too often. Leaving enough room. I've learnt a lot from playing iRacing the past week. I mean, since my last post, I've only been playing iRacing, and I've learnt a lot. I've left him enough room. But what a move that was. Into Ascari, we've got another yellow flag. And that is Carlos Sainz off the track. Heading behind Guan Yu Zhou now. We're right behind Guan Yu Zhou, heading through Parabolica. Zhou moving very slowly alongside of Lando Norris. We have a look down the inside, 3 wide, around the final corner. As we go down the home straight, Norris to our left. Can we make it past him? We're just about alongside him now. Verstappen ahead of us into turn 1. Can we make a move past? Yes, we can. We've absolutely sent it down the inside. Verstappen going kind of wide, but we get an amazing exit out of turn 2, and we're away. At the end of lap 6, we're up into P4. That's insane. What can we do here though? Leclerc, 5 seconds ahead.
11.6 seconds.
Leclerc is absolutely flying ahead. We're catching up quite a lot though, heading towards Ascari again. There's a lapped car. That's a yellow flag for a lapped car. And Charles Leclerc having a tussle, and that's moved us up into the podium positions. I don't know why it's saying approaching back markers. There's no back markers. It's a Noda game. Come on. Just because he's normally slow. But anyways, we've moved up into P3 out of sheer luck and sheer issues at Ascari. And we've set the fastest lap as well.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Very nice. Heading back down towards Ascari for the 8th time this race.
The car in front is 4.6 seconds.
I mean, you can see how fast we're taking it. We're taking it at 200 plus kilometers an hour, just with a little bit of dipping of the throttle. I mean, other AIs will probably try and do the same and then lose the car, which is why we've seen quite a lot of people come off at Ascari during the race. And there's another incident back there. Yellow flag. That's a Haas. That's Mazepin, I believe. Mazepin out of the session.
We need you to reduce your
So is
pace.
Carlos
Looks like there's a
Sainz.
high amount of debris on the
So
track.
is Mashita. 3 people out and safety car's been deployed. We might be on for a win here. Should we have? I'm gonna have a look at the incident. So here we are with Nikita Mazepin heading down towards Ascari. He goes for it, and Carlos Sainz actually loses it and hits into Mazepin, and then Mashita hits into the back of Mazepin. On with Carlos Sainz now, and yeah, he just loses it, hits into Mazepin, and then Mazepin just gets absolutely rear-ended by about 4 cars. The conditions not getting any better. We're 10 laps in, and there's not even a chance for inters. I mean, look at that. We almost lose the car out of turn 5. And we are back to racing behind Tsunoda now, heading down towards turn 1. We are alongside, just on the pit exit. We're just getting ahead into turn 1. We're going to dive down the inside of Mick Schumacher, our teammate, barely making the move. But it is legal. We kept all wheels on track, and we are up into P1 after 1 or 2 corners. What an insane turn of events. We went from starting P21 in the rain with high downforce to being in P1 on the penultimate lap. I mean, the high downforce has really played off well. We've managed to keep ourselves on track. We're not really losing the car through these corners, which is really surprising. And it's looking good. I mean, we'll just run through the final lap and see what we can do.
This is your final lap of the race.
I mean, Tsunoda is 2 seconds behind us, so we're just going to have to make a mistake. This shows a high downforce. We're only going 340 kilometers an hour, but look at the cornering speed. I mean, look at how much we're going to gain through that corner. That's a solid 0.3 seconds through the first chicane on Tsunoda. I mean, they were battling. Him and Schumacher were battling, but
There's 3 laps of fuel
that's not
remaining.
really the point. We might get another fastest lap as well. I mean, we'll have a look at the lap times afterwards, and you'll see that I'm more than likely gonna have a much faster lap because, I mean, the cornering speeds through these high-speed corners, I'm having to worry less about my car slipping out and just more about me not making the turn because I'm a moron. I mean, coming down to Ascari again, we'll keep an eye on that speedometer. I mean, 340 on entry, braking down to around about 160, and then accelerating up to 200 before exiting without a single care in the world. And there's a yellow flag behind. Tsunoda has fallen. Schumacher's up into P2. Verstappen's into P3. Guan Yu Zhou in the Alfa Romeo is in P5. We're in P1 still, and that's pretty much guaranteed at this point. But Tsunoda has lost out on the podium. Anyway, so crossing the line in P1.
Yes, guys, yes!
Whoa.
Come on, boys!
The rain is always an interesting
Fantastic.
one here.
You've won the Grand Prix.
I mean, I was keeping a constant eye on my tyre temps, and they were getting nowhere near to inter times, so inter temperatures. So luckily, we didn't make any bad strategy calls, but we had to pit for a front wing,
Flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory.
and still made it. And I lost my front wing because I'm a moron.
Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Well, there you have it then. P1 and P2 for the team, 44 maximum points. Whew, what a race. I mean, Yuki only actually went down to P8, so he still got 4 points. But look at those lap times, a 1:26.1 to a 1:27.2. And then that's just on the high downforce. That's insane. I also realised why my qualifying has been quite bad the past couple of videos. when I did 110 AI on Austria, I forgot to turn it down. But yeah, looking at the standings then, we're P1, Verstappen, 87 points behind. We've almost guaranteed ourselves a championship with 5 races remaining and 26 points available each race. So, it's looking good. I mean, it was always looking good. The car's been really powerful with the Ferrari engine. I mean, Honda has gone in the bin at this point. But it's looking really good for even maybe a P1, P2 in the championship. Mick is only 9 points behind Verstappen, so it's still all to play for P2. But thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.